what's up, everybody? Welcome back to another episode. You know what it is, episode number 3 of the Sports Podcast. And I had to bring in a very special guest to episode number 3. Cooper Brinkman, my man. How are you doing today? How
Come
are
on
you
now.
doing?
We've been waiting to do this one. We've been waiting to do this one. I'm all right, man. How you doing?
I'm good. I'm excited to have you on. Obviously you're repping the Cardinals because I like the Cubs. I'm repping Ohio State because you're a Michigan guy. We got
Man,
we got
couldn't be better.
yeah.
Couldn't be better.
All right, man. So I know we've been talking about baseball, for years and years now, ever since we became friends. So I want to get your opinion on what you kind of saw last night in Game 1 of the World Series and how you kind of predict the rest of this series is going to go. The floor is yours.
Man, last night it kind of went how I expected. I don't want to sound like I'm some guru saying that picking the Dodgers is anything different than what everyone else is doing, but the Rays strike out a lot. They aren't a very good hitting team outside of Randy Arozarena right now. And the Dodgers are just too good from 1 through 9. They're just too good. I mean, they're just overpowered the Rays. I think that's what's going to happen the rest of the series. And I don't see the Rays. The Rays got to get lucky to get it to 6, in my opinion. I think the Dodgers are just too good from 1 through 9. That's just my opinion. That's how I see it. I think the Dodgers are too good. I mean, you got Mookie, Cody Bellinger. I mean, those guys are on fire. Max Muncy, he gets on base. He's a machine. I mean, they're just too good right now.
So I had a little bit of a different perspective, which I'm glad you brought this up. So I mean, I'm going to tell you this, man. Mookie Betts, man, he's playing out of this world in the field and at the plate. I mean, he's good. Bellinger, Seager, you're right. They do have a lot of talent. I mean, talking about
Seager. I didn't even mention Seager. Seager has 7 home runs or whatever this is.
Yeah. Seager went crazy in the NLCS. That's part of the reason the Dodgers were able to come back and complete the comeback. And now we got another team we can make 3-1 jokes about. But my favorite's still the Golden State Warriors, and I think Gavin Goldstein would agree with me.
It'll always be the Warriors. But, I mean, the city of Atlanta, they got some tough luck, don't they? Tough luck.
Yeah. For me, though, the thing that was most surprising to me was Kershaw because, he has had postseason struggles in the past, and, everybody seems that's the knock on him. That's what everyone talks about. I thought he pitched excellent last night. 6 innings, I believe, only giving up 1 run. Very impressive. I believe he also only gave up 2 hits. So I think, Kershaw really got, I think, the monkey off his back of those postseason struggles, figuratively speaking. But I honestly see this going a very different direction than you do. I think it's going to be a 6 or 7 game series. Because I thought the Rays were, they were a really talented ball club. But for me, I think, whenever you have a team that, is obviously not as good talent, the effort has to be there. And the Rays have been putting in effort throughout the postseason. I thought they were going to lose to the Houston Astros when they were up 3-0 and let them climb back into the series. I thought they were going to lose in that Game 7, and they showed me that they can, kind of ride the wave, take the hits, and, still get W's. But definitely I see the Dodgers winning, and probably I predicted 7, so I'm going to stick with that. But I think I could see a Dodgers in 6 too. But I think it's going to be a very competitive series. I think, the Rays got Blake Snell on the hill tonight, so this is kind of a must-win for them.
Yeah, I think 6 games is pretty realistic. I'd say Dodgers in 6 is very realistic. I wouldn't be surprised if it went 5, though. Dodgers they're just too good. They're too good, man.
So cool. Obviously, you're a big Michigan guy. Big Ten football is coming back this weekend. How excited are you for that? And what are you looking forward to in the Michigan versus Minnesota game at 6:30 on ABC Saturday Night Football with Herb Street and Fowler?
Man, I'm just excited that it's back. Uh, it sucks that it's this late and that there's so many games behind, but it's nice to have it back. I personally, I'm excited to watch Joe Milton. That's what I'm excited for. I mean, he's got a rocket arm. His arm is no other. He can throw the ball very, very far. So I really hope that they utilize his athleticism and his arm strength this year. Got Nico Collins, who arguably the best wide receiver in the Big Ten, one of the best in the country, 6'4", great hands. I they got to stick with him and ride him throughout the season. He is outstanding, and I think you'll have the run game complement him and the ability to get him the ball. But I'm excited. I think it's going to be a weird year, obviously, but it's just I don't really know what to expect from Michigan this year because I don't have high expectations. Nothing, but the thing is they'll still be solid. They're always good. They're always solid. It's just their expectations are so high. Sometimes they don't meet those expectations, so it seems like they have a bad year. I mean, they don't really have bad years, but it's Michigan. Their expectations are very high. So my expectations aren't very high this year. I just hope they can win some games. That's really all I can hope. And then beat Ohio State. If they beat Ohio State, it makes it a good year. They could go 1-7. If they beat Ohio State, then it's a good year.
First of all, you know dang well that's not happening. They're not beating Ohio State. You know that.
Yeah, I know that, but at least I can have hope,
Yeah.
Dunk. I can have some
Hey,
hope.
that's fair, Coop. I give you credit. You're a true fan. Not a bandwagon like some people on this podcast. Me.
Hey, I'll ride with them even if they're getting killed. Even if they're getting killed, I'll still be there.
All right, man. Well, we're definitely gonna have to have you on after that game when Ohio State wins. Hopefully in Boston.
I don't know. I don't know if I'll be free that weekend. Maybe I'll be out of town or
Yeah,
something.
you'll be free, Coop. You'll be free.
It might depend on the outcome.
Oh, jeez. Oh, jeez. Okay. No, I'm really looking forward to Big Ten football. Really am. I'm looking forward to it being back. Saturdays just really aren't the same without it. I mean, I've obviously watched college football games, but it doesn't feel the same. Just being able to turn on the TV on Saturday and see the Buckeyes or Wisconsin or Penn State or Michigan or any of those teams playing. It just feels kind of weird.
Yeah. It doesn't feel right to see Ohio State or Michigan playing at 11 a.m. on that Saturday morning. Like you just expect to see something like that.
Right, right. Yeah. I mean, the game this weekend, obviously Michigan, Minnesota is a great one. I'm really looking forward to it. I think it's gonna be a very interesting game. I like the coaches in both of those games. I like that development there. PJ Fleck, Jim Harbaugh, it's a very interesting coaching matchup. I think, the coaches are gonna have a lot to do with the
Yeah.
outcome of the game. Listen, like 9-3, like he's been going the past couple of years isn't bad, especially when you're playing in probably in most eyes the second best conference in college football in the Big Ten, and some argue that they're the best. I mean, it's
You do
obvious.
got to point out that their side, the East, the Big Ten East, is the second most like competitive division in college football.
Right.
Because when you go down to the SEC East is Georgia, Florida, and that's pretty weak. To
Right.
where the Big Ten East, you got Michigan, Penn State, Ohio State. I mean, that right there, that's tough. That's tough. Those are tough
Right.
teams.
And I think too, you know, obviously too, losing to Ohio State, which has been by most people's eyes the most talented or second or third most talented team in college football the last couple of years. I mean, it seems like,
Mm-hmm.
they go from JT Barrett to Dwayne Haskins, and now they're Justin Fields, who's absolutely amazing. I truly love Justin Fields. I think he's going to be a really good NFL guy. I think he's going to be very similar to Kyler Murray. I think a lot of people are sleeping on him and automatically saying Trevor Lawrence and the guy from North Dakota State.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, I don't. I what they played their one. They had like their one exhibition game or whatever. North Dakota State did.
Yeah.
Yeah, they didn't look too. That definitely didn't help his draft stock.
I think isn't it Trey Lance, right? The
Yeah.
North Dakota
Yep.
State kid. Yeah,
Yep.
I mean, I watched tape on all three of these guys, and Lawrence and Fields to me are the two clear cut best quarterbacks. I do think though that the matchup to watch, not a lot of people are talking about this, but Illinois at Wisconsin is going to be a tricky game, I think, for the Badgers. I think here's why. Illinois, they're well coached. They got Lovie Smith there. He's a pretty good college coach. He knows what he's doing. He seems to be, having that program trend in the right direction. I really like what he's doing there. Do I think the Badgers will win? Yeah, but I don't think it'll be a 28 to 30 point game like the spread is telling you.
Yeah. I think the Badgers are going to be very good this year, and their schedule is very easy. They have a very easy schedule, so I would not be surprised to see them go 8-0. I really wouldn't, because they play a very, very, very weak schedule. And that's unfortunate for us Ohio State, Michigan, Penn State fans to see a team that good have that weak of a schedule, knowing that we have to play each other every year. But hey, I mean, that's part of having two divisions. It's just how it works.
Right. Yeah, I mean, I'll tell you this, Scoop. I mean, Big Ten football, no matter in any form, is always great to watch. I mean, I'll tell you this, the single game out of probably just about any sport is the game, Michigan, Ohio State. It's the game that no matter what I'm doing, I'm going to be at my house watching it. It's such a big part of college football. And, obviously that the Fox guys being able to call it having Gus Johnson in that booth. Man, I love me some Gus Johnson, dude.
Oh, I know you do. I know you love Gus Johnson. Yeah, but that's just a special game, and it always will be. The teams could be 5-4 going into the game, and it'll still be a special game. That's just part of having a true rivalry. They don't need to be good. I mean, one team could be 12-0, the other could be 2-10, and it's just as important, because if the team that's 2-10 wins, then their fans will be happy. They'll say they had a good season because they beat their rival.
Right, right,
That's
yeah.
just
I was looking back today in preparation for kind of this because I knew we were obviously going to talk Big Ten. I knew Michigan, Ohio State was going to be brought up. And, I was looking back and I'm like, 2016, wow, what a game. Like, everybody looks back on that and is like, that was his signature game from the last couple of years. It was so great. They had a rerun on the TV the other day. I watched the whole thing. I'm like, wow, this is such a great game. You know, I know the play too. The JT Barrett quarterback. I don't know.
yeah, you do know it.
Yeah, cool. That's the problem though, is that it's replay, bro. I don't rely on replay. I rely on my own two eyes. Was he short? I have no idea. I mean, probably while I was watching it, I'm like,
Obviously, I'm biased. I thought he was short, but when you see the replay, it's like so close that they weren't going to overturn it. You knew they weren't going to overturn it.
right,
But
yeah,
it just sucks. It sucks because Michigan gets that stop. The game's over. They win the game. They're going to be going to the Big Ten championship as the number 2 team in the country. They win that, they're in the national championship, or they're in the playoff. I mean, it's as crazy as that. That play, that 6 inches, that 1 foot. If he was past it, if he wasn't, pretty much decided on who was going to the playoff, Michigan or Ohio State.
yeah. And that game just having it go to overtime, and again, man, like I I have never gotten so hyped for like a 11 a.m. game because that's when it usually is. It's hardly the nighttime game, and it's like you get so hyped up at like
Yep.
11 a.m. It's wild to me.
There was a lot of good players in that game, particularly. That game had a lot of players.
Oh
You
yeah.
look at Ohio State's offense, obviously, and then you look at Michigan's defense with guys like Jabril Peppers and Devin Bush, Rashawn Gary, Taco Charlton. I mean, they had a lot of players on
Winovich
that
as well,
defense.
right? Chase Winovich was on that team. He's balling out for Bill
Another one.
Belichick right now in the NFL.
Yep. I mean, they had Michigan's defense and Ohio State's offense. That was one hell of a matchup. It's just a whole bunch of athletes going at it that day.
Yeah, I mean Jabril, he was something at Michigan,
I
man.
mean,
He was so good.
played 15 positions. They had him line up in 15. He
Right.
did everything.
Yeah.
I mean, you think you had to worry about him on offense. Next thing you know, he's taking carries out of the backfield. Here he comes with a punt return. He's returning kicks. He's playing linebacker. He's playing safety. I mean, it's crazy. He was one hell of a player. That's that guy that, like, no matter where he is, you just know he's going to do something. He's going to do something. He's going to interrupt the play. He's going to make a tackle, force a fumble. He was one hell of a player. Probably in my time that I've watched Michigan football, my favorite player. I mean, my favorite player of all time, football-wise, is Charles Woodson. But my favorite player that I've watched in recent years, I would definitely say Jabril Peppers, just because how he played and how he always was playing. He wasn't on the bench. I mean, he was always involved in the game.
Yeah, yeah, you can definitely not say enough about those two sides of the ball. Michigan's defense, Ohio State's offense. It, I just JT Barrett, man, he's one of my favorite Ohio State players. I just like there are so many good memories from JT, like the Michigan game. That Penn State comeback. That was crazy. That was one of my favorite Ohio State games too. The 20, I believe it was 2017 against Penn State when we got down big and we came storming back in the fourth quarter. Now we're going to be talking about a couple games on Sunday. We're going to be talking about Rams, Bears, 49ers, Patriots, Packers, Texans.
The
Let's
Rams
start
and
off.
Bears are actually the Monday night game, too.
Yeah, the Monday night, Rams Bears Monday night. That's going to be a really good game. But let's
Mm-hmm.
start off with the 49ers against Patriots because I got a feeling this is going to be a really interesting game.
Mm-hmm.
I
As
have
do I.
the Patriots because Bill Belichick coming off the loss is like one of the most automatic things in probably NFL history. I think that their defense is going to be able to control this game pretty well. I think Cam and the offense is going to do just enough, and I got New England 23-20, mostly because Belichick and Cam. I trust them way more than I do Shanahan and Garoppolo.
I hate to agree with you, but for some reason, I just feel like the Patriots are going to win this game somehow. I don't know how. I mean, you never know how they're going to win a game with the Patriots. I mean, their defense could be very good. Who knows? Maybe Cam has a good game. I just think they're going to win. I think Cam will have a good game. I think the Patriots get it done. Close, but I think they get it done.
All right, what about Rams Bears? What are you seeing in that matchup that catches your eye, and what's your pick,
Well, I
buddy?
mean, I think the Bears. I don't think they're a good football team, but they have a very good defense. So, I mean, again, I don't think it's going to be a high scoring game. But in this one, I'll pick the Rams slightly over the Bears. I'll say Rams 24-17, 24-21, something like that area.
Yeah, I agree with you. I think the real big thing I see out of the Bears this year is they're a lot like the Packers last year, where they find ways to win even if it's ugly, and it's not a great win, but they find a way to win.
Yeah, a win in the NFL is a win, man.
Right,
It'll take
right.
it.
A win is a win in the National Football League. Totally agree with it. I think the Bears are actually a decent football team, honestly. Now, I don't think they're the best team in the NFC North, and I don't think they're probably the top 5 team in the NFC. But I think they're a good, decent football team. I think they do a lot of things well. I
Well,
think they do a
they
lot of
definitely are. It's just that the offense has just been. It's just hard to really see them beat a team like the Seahawks, the Packers, teams of that caliber.
Yeah,
But I
Tampa
mean,
Bay, Tampa Bay out
they,
there. On there.
but they beat Tampa Bay last week.
Yeah. That's true. You got a point. You got a point on that.
Tampa Bay was banged up, but they beat them, and that's the thing is the Bears can win a game like that because of their defense. It's just will they be able to hold an offense like that every week? I don't know. I mean, they've done a pretty good job. I personally, again, I don't think they're that good. I really don't. But they've
Right.
done it so far, so you can't knock them on it.
Right. Yeah. I agree with you though. I think the Rams are going to win this football game. I do agree. I think it'll be close. I actually have a little bit of it being a little bit of a higher scoring game because I think um I think teams with a little bit more time to prepare tend to score a little bit more points. I got this game going 30-23 Rams. I think, I think Sean McVay and his play calling is going to find ways to score points. They're going to have to be creative against a very good Bears defense, but I don't see anybody on the Bears offensive line that's going to be able to contain Aaron Donald. He is, without question, probably the second or third best defensive player in the NFL. He
Yeah, he's
some
one of
argue
the
one. I think some argue one. I think Stephon Gilmore has that locked up right now. But Aaron Donald, dude's amazing. He's so strong. He's got such good power moves, finesse moves. He can do so much on a football field, and he can just take over a game. And I expect Aaron Donald to take over this game on Monday Night Football this week.
yeah. I wouldn't be surprised.
Now let's shift to our team, Coop, the Packers, as they look to bounce back off of that miserable performance against the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. What do you think is going to be the key for the Pack to get back on track this week in Houston, Coop?
All I gotta say, I don't usually say this. Packers win easily. They blow them out this week. The offense explodes. I am not this type of person. I do not say this often. I think the offense is going to explode. I think Rodgers will have 354 touchdowns, and
Ooh,
they go and they beat Houston easily. That's what I think.
okay, man. Ooh, I like that prediction. I do. I
I
like.
am worried about the defense, though. I will say that the defense is it worries me
Yeah,
because they aren't elite at anything. They aren't elite at stopping the run. They aren't elite at stopping the pass. They aren't elite at tackling. I mean, that's the only thing that scares me. I mean, can they be? Yes. Have they been? Nowhere near. The defense has not been good. They cannot stop the run at all. They just can't stop the run. It's
yeah. I
hard.
definitely, I definitely agree with you about the defense. They need to be definitely better. I think that this is going to be, somewhere between probably 31-20 or 31-17. I have the Packers winning this one. I think Aaron Rodgers. He's obviously the whole team is upset, but himself. I mean, you could just tell after that game he was upset at himself. Two interceptions is very unlike him. A pick six is, he's had three in like what, 15, 16 years of playing quarterback in the NFL. So he doesn't do that often. I expect Rodgers to be turnover free. He'll probably have about 3 touchdowns. I
Yeah.
expect the defense
He's
to,
not throwing an interception this week.
yeah, I expect the defense to step up this week though, Coop. I really do. I think really this week showed them that they can be good because in that first quarter, they looked like one of the elite defenses in the NFL. They were they were making the Buccaneers on offense work. They got a three and out, and then they got a stop. And then after the Rodgers interception, it kind of all went downhill from that. I think the team kind of just gave up. And I think the Texans, I'll say this. I think the reason it'll be a little bit closer than you're kind of predicting, they got a lot of talent. I just don't think – I think they need a better coach, better general manager, just a better front office overall, get that team back in the right direction where they were, even last year. I mean, they were in the AFC divisional game. You
Yeah,
know,
and they're up 24 to nothing. You got to
right?
remember
Yeah. I mean, they were up
they,
24
they,
nothing, blew
they
the
did
lead.
the
You know,
best wide receiver in the game. They
credit to
lost.
Mahomes and that offense for leading them back. But yeah, I I think it's gonna be a good week of football. I really do. I
Yep.
think I think
I
we
got
got a
the
lot of.
Packers 38 to 21. Book it. 38-21 Packers.
Okay. We'll have to check back in on Cooper's prediction on
Take out
another episode
all
of the
of your
podcast.
money. Take out all your money and go bet on the Packers this week. They will not lose 2 games in a row. They will not lose 2 games. I'm guaranteeing it. I'm going to look like the biggest idiot ever if they lose. They aren't losing this week. Bet on it. Packers aren't losing.
Okay. I agree with you. I don't think they lose either.
That's how I'm closing it out. That's how I'm closing out my episode. I am guaranteeing that the Packers are going into next week 5-1.
Okay, and guaranteeing that they will also be first in the division, given that you predicted Chicago loses
Yes.
to the Rams on Monday Night Football. Cooper, thank you so much for coming on the show, man. We'd love to have you again. So, be sure to let us
Hey,
know.
I'm gonna have to hop on here with my boy Owen. We're gonna have to go both of us, all 3 of us in one episode.
Oh boy, I don't know, man. Hey, maybe we
Oh,
can get that in next Wednesday. That
all right,
that
let's
might.
do it, man. You just let me know.
All right, yeah, next Wednesday then. We'll plan on it for now, and
Yep.
if something changes, but if it's me, Coop, and Owen, it's gonna be a good show. So expect that
Yeah, we're
on
gonna
the
have to talk.
Wednesday.
We're gonna have to talk some hoops next week.
Oh yeah, LeBron James and will be brought up plenty
Talk some off season.
on the show with Owen, because he tried to tell me, Coop. You'll see what he tried to tell me in
Yeah,
our
yeah.
episode.
I'll watch the.
You're about to fall over and how crazy that take was.
I'll watch the
But
episode.
but yeah, man, thank you so much for coming on the show. We really
Hey, I
appreciate it.
appreciate you for having me on.
It's great, man. All right, you have a wonderful night, man. All right,
Too.
peace out, buddy.
Appreciate it.